Good morning to the panels, fellow co-chairs, and dear attendees. Dear audience, before I introduce our panels and stylist co-chairs for the day, let me first cover the topic of our forum today. The title of forum revolves around the theme of the historical context, the various philosophies, and the relationship between theory, philosophies, and educational practice. So, behaviorism is the main topic of discussion. As we all know, behaviorist theory is a theory that states the teaching and learning will affect all action or behaviorism of students, whether good or otherwise. This theory also explains that student behavior can be observed, controlled, and predicted. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we dive deeper into the topic of discussion, let's get to know each other first. I am Alia, one of the chairperson with all three our panels and two co-chairs today. Alright, welcome to our first panels. Eric, how are you?
I am good and glad to be here this morning.
Next, I introduce to the second panel's member, Angelina Grita. Welcome, how are you?
I doing great, Alia. Thank you.
Now, it is none other than our third panel's member, Ismail Billy. How are you?
Not bad, I'm doing well.
And introduce my two co-chairs, Felicia Brega and Azwa Aziz. How do you feel this morning?
Pretty good. Excited for this discussion.
I'm alright. Good enough for this morning.
After greetings, introductions from all the panel's members and friends, let's go back to our forum topic about behaviorism. Welcome to Felicia to continue our forum this morning.
Thank you, Alia. Dear audience, what is the background and historical context of behaviorism? To answer this question, let me ask the first question to the first panel member. Erika, please give an explanation about the background and historical context of behaviorism.
Thank you. This morning, I will answer the question that was asked by our chairman a moment ago. I will briefly explain three things about the background and historical context of behaviorism. The first, origins and development of behaviorism. Behaviorism is a psychological theory and method that focuses on studying observable behaviors rather than internal mental states. Next, role of John B. Watson, B. F. Skinner, and Edward Thorndike in the development of this philosophy. They were pivotal figures in the development of behaviorism, each contributing uniquely to the philosophy of shaping its evolution. John B. Watson has emphasized the importance of the environment in shaping behaviors, asserting that he can oblige any baby to develop into any expert regardless of where and how they started. B.F. Skinner creates the basics for applied behavior analysis, a discipline that led to the emergence of behaviorism. Behaviorism rise was influenced by a combination of factors such as dissatisfaction with past psychological methods, the impact of positivism, and the scientific method, progress in animal learning studies, and the cultural and intellectual atmosphere of the early 20th century, so that the background and historical context of behaviorism that I can explain briefly.
Thank you, Erika. Dear audience, this is the explanation from our first panel member. Thank you to our first panel for answering the question I asked earlier. Without without wasting time, I will turn it over to Azwa, one of our chairmen, to continue this discussion.
With me now, with me now. Let's continue discussion. Before that,
Before that,
before that, thank you, Felicia. Here, I would like to ask a question for our second panel. Our second panel member, Angelina. You must have analyzed influences in the philosophy of behaviorism, such as John Watson, Skinner, and Edward Thorndike. And now I want you to state what you have analyzed from each of them.
thank you, Chairman. As what I have analyzed in behaviorism, there are influential figures in the development of behavior philosophy such as John B. Watson, B. F. Skinner, and Edward Thorndike. Each of them has unique thinking about the concept of learning, and they also contribute different but interrelated ideas that shape the field. Not only that, John B. Watson, P. F. Skinner, and Edward Thorndike play a role in the development of behaviorist philosophy, is making a significant and complementary contribution to form the basic of this theory. As we know, Watson intro behaviorism as an approach that emphasizes the study of observable behavior and ignore internal mental experience that could not be measured objectively. Watson believed that human behavior results from specific stimuli that elicit specific response. John B. Watson play a role in shaping the basics of behaviorism and influencing the way we understand and study human behavior. Then, B. B. F. Skinner is an American psychologist who is one of the most influential figures in the development of behaviorism, especially in the theory of learning through reinforcement or operant conditioning. Last, Thorndike was the first person to apply psychological principles to human and animal learning. Thorndike conclude that animals and extrapolation can learn through the process of trying and by improving strategies so that they can obtain good result. I think that's all from me.
Thank you for the extensive explanation regarding existing knowledge. I'm sure Angelina has analyzed the influencer well. All right, Felicia, Alia, may I continue our discussion?
You are encouraged to ask as well.
That's right, Azwa. We both respectfully invite you to ask questions to the panel.
Thank you both of you. Now I will ask a question to our third panel, Ismail. Please discuss criticism of behaviorism and state the impact on educational philosophy of pedagogical practice.
Smart.
All right. From John B. Pers- from John B. perspective, behaviorism in psychology and education has faced substantial critical theory. One of the main criticism of behaviorism has been relationship. This effect is evident in the implementation of standardized student demonstrate performance. Educators are advised to divide activities into smaller student behavior. This focus teaching technique such as program instruction and direct instruction. Then from Edward potential criticism over the year, particularly as other psychological including memory, perception, and problem solving. Areas that impacting the assessment of academic achievement. He argues that education can be measured and that teacher can them information. That's
Ismail, I think you forgot another critique and impact, which is from Skinner perspective. But it doesn't matter. We leave it to Felicia to continue this discussion. Before that, thank you, Ismail, for sharing.
Well then, Azwa, I will continue this discussion only with the same question, but this question was asked to our first and second panel. So, Erika, Angelina, please continue the ISMA discussion earlier.
All right, Felicia. From Skinner perspective, has had a significant impact on educational, psychology, and pedagogical practice. Critics claim that behaviorism simplifies complex human behavior and cognitive process into basic stimulus response mechanism. This reductionist approach failed to consider the internal mental process, emotional emotion, and personal variation that affect behavior. Ignoring internal mental process also allow behaviorists to emphasize observable actions. But critics from cognitive psychology argue that understanding internal thought and belief is essential to a complete understanding of behavior. So the impact will continue by Angelina.
As all of you know, its effect on classroom control. Skinner research on operant conditioning led to reinforcement technique commonly used in educational settings. Praise and reward methods used to encourage this desired behavior, while negative reinforcement and punishment are used to discourage unwanted behavior. In educational setting, students agree to certain behaviors in exchange for reward through behavioral contract based on Skinner ideas, helping to manage classroom behavior and encouraging self-discipline. So that's it, the impact that I have learned before.
Thanks to our first and second panel for the addition of ideas. I have no more questions to ask. Now I hand over our forum to the first chairman.
Thank you to all the panels who attend and the co-chairs who help. It is my hope that this forum can also provide useful information for all the esteemed attendees. On behalf of the panel's members and co-chairs, I would like to express my sincere thanks to all the attendants for being willing to witness this forum. Thank you so much.